felt
that
robbed.
the New England Patriots engaged in cheating activity, he has to take all of that into consideration. I don't see how it can be any less than 4 games for Tom Brady, in my estimation. But here's where I part ways with you. I don't believe Bill Belichick deserves a game.
Oh, please.
Nothing. Nothing. Here's why. Regardless of what you believe, Skip, the report specifically said there was no evidence found whatsoever incriminating Bill Belichick. Completely. Ted Wells didn't use the word he had wiggle room. Because if you talk about Tom Brady and probable, you could have said Bill Belichick questionable. You could have said Bill Belichick probable. You could have said Bill Belichick definitively. You used none of those words. You specifically said you haven't found anything to incriminate this man. I'm looking at here and it says exactly this. The report finds no wrongdoing or knowledge of wrongdoing by Patriots ownership, by head coach Bill Belichick, or any other Patriots coach in the matters investigated. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter what most of America could possibly surmise. The facts are an investigation took place, and the same investigation that you're willing to give weight to incriminate Tom Brady has completely exonerated Bill Belichick. Now, we can believe whatever, but the report that everybody is going on that's calling for Tom Brady to be suspended, that's calling for his reputation to be sullied and his integrity to be completely compromised, that same report completely exonerates the head coach. It doesn't matter what you believe. What matters is the report said zero evidence of wrongdoing on the part of Mr. Kraft, on the part of Bill Belichick, or any of the coaches. This is on Tom Brady, your guy, period.
I consider Bill Belichick my guy too, and he has to go down here. You remember what happened to Sean Payton in Bountygate? I had no knowledge, and they said that's no excuse. You're the head coach of the New Orleans Saints.
That's not what happened.
Yeah, it was.
Sean Payton got suspended because Sean Payton lied to Roger Goodell's face. That's why he got suspended.
Okay,
it wasn't because he was just
But they said that's no excuse. If you're the head coach, you have to know. You have to stand responsible for what's operating under your nose. No coach in the National Football League rules his football operation with more of an iron fist than Bill Belichick does. I suggest to you no coach has more awareness of the minute details in the operation than Belichick. He's his own offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator and special teams coach. I'm sorry. He has to know that the very essence, that there were all the reports that came out before the Super Bowl. Remember about how Bill brings out footballs before the bad weather games and he wets them down or he ices them up or whatever he has to do. He's acutely aware of the condition of the football, especially the one that his star quarterback is going to throw. You don't think he had discussions with Tom Brady? How would you like it? And how could we fix it for you? Stop it.
Skip, with all due respect, I'm not debating whether you're right or wrong. I don't know. You may very well be right. But your complete argument against Bill Belichick is entirely emotional. Because the report says we found no evidence. We found no evidence. Now, either you're going to go with the report or you're not. You can't go with the report for Tom Brady but ignore it with Bill Belichick. Or you can't go with the report with Tom Brady and then ignore the report and surmise that, you know what, I'm going to connect the dots. The fact is, the report says Bill Belichick, zero evidence of wrongdoing. Period.
Okay. The only damning evidence we have against Tom Brady are the text messages. And they're from lackey to lackey. This assistant equipment guy to this assistant guy in the referee's quarters. And they're not going to be texting about Belichick. They're going to be texting about Tom Brady. Belichick is the overseer. Yes, it is. They're not going to say Bill told us. It's going to come from Brady.
If Bill Belichick got involved, you best believe they would be talking about him too. If he got involved, they would have been. I'm not trying. Listen, I'm not trying to sit there and say that Bill Belichick was completely ignorant. Please don't get me wrong.
Right.
Do I believe that Bill Belichick is? See, understand the reason why I believe Bill Belichick's at least relative innocence in all of this. I believe the head coach is completely preoccupied with everything else. So his attitude is, okay, we're to surmise. Let's say, for example, we're talking about the Super Bowl here, Skip.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it wasn't deflated that day. Look how Tom Brady played. So if you're Bill Belichick, I could see Bill Belichick having the level of confidence in the greatness of Tom Brady where he's not concerned about something as detailed as that. And he's like, look, my quarterback can handle it. Y'all do what y'all got to do and move on. I can see that happening. That's all I mean by that. That's all I'm saying. Tom Brady's the one throwing the football, handing it off, etc., etc. Now, if you want to tell me Bill Belichick had the balls deflated because whether it's Ridley or Vereen or whoever was in the doghouse, they were fumbling the ball too much and stuff like that, okay, that's a different argument. But the fact is that we're talking about Tom Brady here. And if we're talking about Tom Brady here, there is no getting around the fact, those text messages, the fact that he is intimately attached to the football.
Yeah.
And then we look at his press conference, which was incredibly unconvincing. I mean, Tom Brady was worse than Mark McGuire on Capitol Hill.
I buy that.
Fit.
I agree.
I mean, it was just,
Yeah.
it was off.
Well, Stephen A., wait. Let's stop down for a minute. 20 minutes into this debate, I want to make sure our viewers don't get lost. You guys both agree that Tom Brady should get 4 games minimum. You say nothing for Belichick. You say 8 for Belichick. You keep
That is correct.
talking about these text messages. Let me show you some of the text messages. On October 17th, 2014, following a Thursday night game between the Patriots and the New York Jets, Tom complained. This is McNally, the equipment assistant, and he says, actually, he's the locker room attendant. Tom sucks. I'm going to make the next ball a blank balloon. Talked to him last night. He actually brought you up, said you must have had a lot of stress trying to get them done. I told him it was. He was right, though. I checked some of the balls this morning. The refs blanked us. A few of them were at almost 16. They didn't recheck them after they put air in them. And then this is McNally, the attendant. He says, blank Tom, 16 is nothing. Wait till next Sunday. One more set here, guys. This is 11 days before the AFC Championship game. McNally, remember to put a couple of sweet pigskins ready for Tom to sign. You got it, kid. Big autograph day for you. Nice throw, some kicks in, and make it real special. You're lucky. 11 as in his shoe size. 11 or 11 and a half, kid. All right, these are the